So people told me about these Roxon interchangeable multi-tools for a long time now. Finally got around to getting one. Actually, the first time I saw a Roxon product was when Olight worked with them. All right, so this is the OK S2, the O knife, model, and this was a collaboration between Olight or O knife rather, and Roxon. All right, let's just finally, there we go. So you can see, so it's a collaboration, so it's Roxon Tool, and there was, just Olight branded. And this was super interesting. All right, so this is a little bit different than what we'll be talking about today, but I wanted to show it because it's similar in its form factor, essentially. But we have our main blade, okay, which has its own liner lock. But on the other side, we have a set of tools. You can push this over to push the tools out, which is super helpful. And the tools individually lock, all right? Then you can swing this back over to unlock them. So this is a really cool tool that I carried and used. I liked it quite a bit. And then, like I said, even before this one, people were talking about the Roxon. I don't know if they were Kickstarter originally or what, but I remember people talking about them before they were available for sale. And I really wanted the full-size multi-tool, which I also have. I just happen to use this one first. So I have the full-size, you'll guys see that in the future, and it's everything you think it would be. It's just super, super cool. So the idea of having a multi-tool where you could, very simply, without any tools, pop on or off different individual tools or components was a brilliant idea. It's something everyone loves. Not only do people like customizing stuff, but you might have a multi-tool. I mean, how many people have multi-tools that you're not using 100% of the tools? You might have a pair of scissors in there that you use occasionally, and maybe have like an awl that you've never used ever. You know what I'm saying? So why have it all? Just pop it out and put something else in its place. And that's the whole concept behind these. All right, so again, this is the smaller version here. This was a kit, so we have the tools that are involved here, but we also got the comb as well as this multi-tool, which is really cool. It has a pen, a little needle. So I'll go over some of this stuff a little bit later, but I just want to give you the general idea here. Here's the box it came in. All right, it does come in a little bag as well. All right, so you could go to the website and you could see all these individual tools for the smaller one as well as the large one. And again, you can nitpick and get exactly what you want, which is super, super special. And then obviously as time goes on, you'll see they're constantly coming out with new tools. So it's a really simple concept, all right? The main blade here does have a thumb disc, let's call it, which makes it really easy to get to. Obviously, the hard part with a lot of different multi-tools is getting to the tools. They do have kind of a notch cut out, very similar to Leatherman, where you can kind of manipulate that a little bit to lift the tools. Just makes it a little easier to get them out individually. But, so let's say I want to take my blade out. Right now, the blade is in a locked position, all right? Also, when these are closed, there's a separate lock, which you could slide over, all right, and that keeps everything from opening, all right? So you can't actually access the tool. So the problem or the issue is that when you have these that are easily interchangeable, it could be loose, right? And they've kind of realized this problem already and already solved it. Not only do they have spacers, you can get individual spacers or put multiple spacers if you're missing tools. Again, you have to keep all that space filled so that the individual tools aren't loose. But anyway, so when we unlock that, take our blade out. They also have this tool, this thing, if you want to. It's not a big deal, but you could use this to more safely remove sharp items. For example, you could put this on top, right? Put your blade in here and kind of lock it in place. This way, when you're manipulating your tool, you're not touching the open, sharpened edge. That's kind of nice. So, I mean, we'll use it just for demonstration, but all you have to do is push all the way back and it clicks. All right, so you see what's happening here? Let me zoom in. The back bar that's holding all the tools in clicks and stays open. Okay, so now you can simply wiggle these individual tools out. All right, it's that simple. Let me back out. Let's say I want to put a different tool in here. Let's say instead of the blade, I wanted to use this this comb. All right, so let's pop this guy open. Hold on a second. All right. So you have our comb blade. So let's say you have your little Roxon and you're going to, I don't know, a school or something, somewhere you can't have a knife, right? Obviously there's other sharp tools in here, but you take all the sharp tools out, you can replace them very easily with non-sharp tools. All right, pop that in there, lock it, and you're good to go. It's that quick and easy. It seems like an infomercial, but it really is. It's super, super easy to do. All right, now, same thing. This will just individually lock. So not only could you replace the tools, but you can also change their positions as well. So let's say you want a certain order of the tools so they're easy to grab, and you can really mess around with this, which is awesome. Let's pop our regular blade back in. And again, you can use the spacer pieces. I'll show you that in just a second here. Let's pop our main blade back in. All right, take that tool off, and we're back in business. All right, very, very cool. This, here's just a it's like a thicker pack so it can hold multi-spacers in case you need a bunch of them. All right, and then different tools will take up, you'll see on the website, like 1 space or 2 space, depends on how thick they are. But essentially, these are the spacers they give you to take up the room. So if you take out a tool, you put a spacer in. You take out 2 tools or a tool that takes up 2 slots. All right, I think they refer to them as slots. You can put 2 spacers in. So overall, just super, super cool. I like the entire tool itself. There is a bit holder that's on the back as well, which I didn't even mention yet. All right, but pop this guy out here. There's a little tiny, like almost like, I don't know, a little lip you can use your fingernail on. You see that right in the end there? So I just kind of pop that a little bit. All right, just make it easier to get out. But you do have your bit holder, all right? So you can keep a double-sided bit in there, whatever bit you might want to use the most. So here's just a closer look at that. All right, again, you can replace this with whatever bit you want. And this runs off a single liner lock. All right, so it does lock in place, as you can see, so it's nice and stiff. So when you're using it, it's not going to fold up on you, but it tucks away out of the way. So yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic, idea. I like this one specifically because it's much smaller. I mean, of course, I love a full-size multi-tool, but I was really interested in this one because it's more compact. You can stick this in the 5th pocket of your pants or something. You can load this out with just the tools that you're going to be using. You don't have to have any extra. And again, if you only want, 1 or 2 tools, I mean, for me, originally, I kind of wanted to get all the different blades. I thought that'd be kind of interesting and just load it with just the blades. I might eventually do that. Who knows? But it's well thought out. It's really well done as well. The only thing I would say is the only drawback to the entire tool is you get a little bit, like the blade right now is locked up pretty good, but you get a tiny bit of up and down, and that's just the nature of the design. Again, the hardest part, I think, or the biggest challenge here is keeping the perfect spacing. Now, when you have a regular multi-tool, your tools don't come out. So you have, either a pin or you have a hardware that's tightened. So you have just the perfect amount of play, so it's easy to get out, but when it is opened, it doesn't wiggle. Because these are removable, it's hard. There's almost no way to not have some kind of play in there. All right, but they do lock up. They're totally functional. Everything works really well. I do want to show you real quick the scissors that are in here. See if I can kind of pull these out a little. Like a lot of multi-tools, you end up having to take out, let's take the blade out, grab something else to kind of manipulate all the tools, which is pretty common. One thing I will definitely say is that their scissors are superior. These are really, really good multi-tool scissors. Like just overall, it's the first thing I noticed when I got them. They're very robust. It has a great spring in it. It just cuts through everything. It's just fantastic. I mean, the blades are actually sharpened very nicely, brand new out of the box. So if you are a fan of the multi-tool scissors, literally one of the best. Like right up there, Victorinox, Leatherman. I mean, maybe even better. I'd have to do side-by-sides with them, but just really, really cool. So I just wanted to mention that specifically for, again, the people who, value scissors in their multi-tools. But just an awesome, awesome concept. All right, again, you can push this forward. I always forget that too. Like before, I'm fiddling with this, and I'm remembering with the old model, with the old light, that you can actually rock that forward to get all the tools out. All right, so there you go. See, totally forgot about that. So takes a little bit of pressure there, but it's definitely easier than trying to pick through. And then obviously you can spread them out, grab what you want. In this particular case, again, scissors, we have a wood saw, we have an awl that's actually very sharp. We have a measuring tool on one side and a file on the other side with a flathead, and then of course our main blade. All right, or the other tools, if you chose to swap them out. Let me open this and show you this real quick too before we go. Because this is a multi-purpose tool that I might end up throwing in here as well for this particular kit. So we have the pen, all right, ballpoint pen. We have the needle, little sewing needle that's in here. Let me take the pen out first. All right, little sewing needle, which is super cool. And then we have the tweezers. All right, so you want to do some really fine work. This is a very cool tool to have. And let's go ahead and let's pop this in right now, which we're talking about anyway. What do I want to replace? So let's pop all the tools out, take a look at it. realistically, the awl is something like I use an awl to scrape stuff all the time, but it's not like a super useful tool for me. Right now it's going to be between the awl and the file, you know, slash flathead. I'm going to go with the awl. All right, so let me take the awl out and replace it with this particular multi-tool. All right. I mean, could not be easier. Again, we can use our little piece there to safely do it, but obviously if you're just careful with it, shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to make this the second tool, actually, right past our knife. So let me slide that over, get that gap I need there. Oh, I'm sorry, this takes up 2. I forgot. That is important to know. Certain tools do take up both spaces. So let's push these out. Let's see. I guess I'm going to have to take this out as well. I'll take out our flathead too. All right. So flathead and awl are going to go. Move our blade over. And pop this guy in. All right. And there we go. So now I have our main blade. All right. Get all the tools out again. Shut them all except for the one I just put in. You can lock it open. And again, have access to our pen, which you just flip around if you wanted to. All right. You can write like this. It's certainly not the most comfortable thing, or you could just literally hold the pen itself and just take your notes or whatever. It's more of a backup emergency pen. You wouldn't be doing all your work, you know, with that by itself. But yeah, super, super cool though. I totally dig the design. I mean, huge 2 thumbs up for this. Again, a lot of you guys are probably interested in the full-size multi-tool, which you will see a video on in the future. I just want to get more use on it. It's just like what you would think. It works the same way as a small guy here, but obviously you have the main tool is the plier head, right, and the 2 handles. So you have more access to slots if you want to put more stuff in here. But yeah, just awesome. Like I said, kind of impressed with the original Olight collab, but this thing is just, it's something completely unique and very different. And I mean, I kind of feel like some of the other brands might even jump on board in the future and copy this design, because it is just, it's going to be immensely popular. I mean, I'm sure I'm late to the game like I usually am with lots of stuff. Half of you guys probably already have these and already know about them, but I want to share it for anyone who didn't. I knew about it for a while, like I said, just haven't gotten my hands on one until now. But I think they're awesome. So that's it. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you have one of these Roxons, let me know what tool you use the most. You know, did you buy a separate tool to add to it and you're using it all the time? Like I said, part of me just wants to make one all blades just because it sounds fun. But anyway, that's it for now. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video.